Hi, hello, good morning, students. How are you all? This video lesson module number 7 on metals and non-metals brought to you by Vignan Global Gen Schools, Hyderabad. I, myself, Venkat Reddy Peram, teaching faculty, Vignan, Hyderabad. Dear students, in previous module, we have already learnt about extraction of metals low in the reactivity series, especially mercury and copper. How these two metals are extracted from their corresponding sulfide ores. Okay? And now, in this module, we will discuss more information about extracting metals middle in the activity series. That means extracting the metals of moderate reactivity. Okay? And along with Thermit reaction, and after this Thermit reaction, we even learn about extracting metals in the top of the reactivity series. So, 3 main sub-concepts are meant for today's module. Okay, na? So, hope everyone will concentrate. Okay, let me start. What is the first concept? Extracting metals middle in reactivity series of metals or reactivity series. Extracting metals middle in reactivity series of metals. Okay. So, my dear students, you know very well. Extracting metals middle in the reactivity series means specially metals like zinc, iron, lead are moderately reactive. And these metals, zinc, iron, lead are moderately reactive. These properties are neither too high reactivity or nor too low. These are moderately reactive. Okay? And these metals are available in two forms in the nature. In the form of their corresponding sulfide ores or carbonate ores. Okay? So, specially these metals are available in the form of two ores. One is sulfide ores and second one is carbonate ores. But this is very, very important to note down. In order to extract the metal from the oxide is easier than the extracting metals from these sulfides and carbonates directly. So, before converting the metal, these sulfides and carbonates we must convert it to oxides. From that oxides, we can obtain the metals very easily. So, please note down this sentence. So, how to convert these sulfide ores and carbonate ores into oxides? For that purpose, there are two basic operations needed. What are they? One is calcination. Second one is roasting. Okay, and out of these two sub properties or sub processes, calcination is meant for carbonate ores, whereas roasting is meant for sulfide ores. Now, for example, let me take one example to illustrate this one very easily. Zinc. Zinc available in the form of zinc carbonate, which is also called calamine Calamine means zinc carbonate. The metal same zinc available in the form of even sulfide as zinc blend. Zinc blend. So calamine, carbonate ore of zinc, zinc blend, sulfide ore of zinc. Now, if you take this carbonate ore, what is the basic operation required here? Since the ore is carbonate, so here required calcination. Okay, here this is sulfide ore. Here we required, what is that process called? Roasting. Now tell me, what is meant by calcination? Calcination का मतलब क्या है? What is meant by calcination? What is meant by roasting? Now let me explain. Calcination means heating the ore strongly in the limited supply of air. Heating the ore strongly in the limited supply of air. This is called calcination. During this calcination, let us take zinc carbonate. Zinc carbonate undergo heating, converting after zinc oxide plus carbon dioxide. This is step number 1. So, zinc carbonate ore gradually converted to zinc oxide, which is solid material, carbon dioxide gas. So, during the process of calcination, which gas is liberated? Yes, you are correct. Carbon dioxide. Now, in the second step, zinc oxide reduced to metallic zinc by adding one best reducing agent. What is that? Carbon in the form of coke. Carbon in the form of coke will be treated as best reducing agent. And in the presence of this reducing agent carbon, metal oxide, zinc oxide gradually converted to zinc. Okay. So this second step is called reduction. What name is given to this one? Reduction. And this one is called calcination. Okay. And this process is called what, my dear? Reduction. What is the best reducing agent here? Carbon. So this is our goal. Okay. Now zinc oxide is present in solid state, carbon also solid state, zinc also solid state, carbon monoxide gaseous state. Okay. And after, now move on to next one. Zinc sulfide, roasting. Roasting means what? Heating the ore strongly in the presence of excess air is called roasting. So roasting is meant for sulfide ore. Now let me take the equation. Zinc sulfide plus oxygen gives rise to zinc oxide plus SO2. Okay, na? So this is about. So 2ZnS, 3O2, 2ZnO, 2SO2. So already balanced because 3 into 2, 6 oxygens, no? 2 into 2, 2O, 6 oxygens. This is about first step. So during the roasting process, sulfide ores gradually converted to oxide ores. And during the process of roasting, which gas is liberated? Sulfur dioxide. But in the second step, this zinc oxide reduced to metallic zinc in the presence of carbon. Because carbon is in the form of coke, which acts as a best reducing agent. So what name is given to this second step, which is common? Reduction process. What is this step called? Reduction. So in this way, we can convert carbonate ores and sulfide ores into first oxide ores, and then by using reducing agent like carbon in the form of coke, we can convert metal oxides to metal. So this is about extracting metals middle in the reactivity series, which are moderately reactive. And why we need to convert sulfide and carbonate ores into oxides first? Because to obtain metal from oxide is very easily rather than from sulfides and carbonates. So with this we will end up this particular extracting metals middle in the reactivity series. But sometimes for another type of displacement reactions, specially what is that name of the reaction means Dhermit reaction. What is the reaction name? Dhermit reaction. We are using reducing agents but more reactive metals. So more reactive metals like sodium, magnesium, and what is that? Aluminium used as a reducing agent for few displacement reactions. Why? Because these metals are able to replace less reactive metals. Now in this category, let me take one example and explain. Metal oxides like manganese dioxide converted to manganese metal present in liquid state by reduction with which powder? Aluminium powder. Along with aluminium powder, you will get, aluminium manganese dioxide gives rise to Mn plus Al2O3. Along with more amount of heat energy also liberated. This is one type of displacement reaction where you are using aluminium as a reducing agent. Okay, during this reaction, high amount of heat energy released. This is exothermic in nature. And now, after balancing this equation, now if you once observe, for suppose if you take 3 here, put here 2, and aluminium becomes 4, and what about manganese becomes 3, now balanced. Like that, one more equation is there. You know ferric oxide, Fe2O3. Ferric oxide is also called iron 3 oxide. On adding aluminium powder as best reducing agent, this aluminium replace iron so that you will get Al2O3 along with iron. In this reaction, more amount of heat energy released. This is also highly exothermic. Okay, and now ferric oxide is present in solid state, aluminium also solid state, aluminium oxide also present in solid state, but iron metal is present in liquid state. Here manganese is present in liquid state, remaining are present in solid states. Okay, and during these, once you observe these two equations, during these two equations, more amount of heat energy liberated, where the metal available in the form of molten state. So highly exothermic, the metal available and the metal produced in the form of molten state. And this is the significance of this reaction. And where you are using these two reactions? To join railway tracks and to welding cracked parts of the machinery. What are the two types of, what are the two uses? To join the railway tracks and cracked machine parts. And what name is given to these reactions? Where more amount of heat energy released. That's why these two equations and reactions are called Dhermit reactions. In fact, this word thermal indicates heat energy. Where tremendous amount of heat energy released, that's why this is called thermal reactions, no doubt. Especially exothermic. And what is the main significance of Dhermit reaction? First significance is it is highly exothermic, and second significance, metal is obtained in molten state. What are the two uses of Dhermit reaction? First use, joining the railway tracks, and second use, cracked parts of the machinery, welding the cracked parts of the machinery. Now tell me, what is Dhermit reaction? This is a process in which metal oxides gradually converted to metals present in molten state by reduction with aluminium powder. This is called Hermite reaction. So with this, first two subtopics finished. What are they? Extracting metals middle in the reactivity series, moderate reactively, and what is meant by Hermite reaction. In this Hermite reaction, which metal we are using? Aluminium. What is the role played by aluminium? Used as a reducing agent. It has the ability to replace manganese from manganese dioxide and iron from iron 3 oxide. It is highly exothermic, used in our day-to-day life, especially to join railway tracks and cracked parts of the machinery. And now, my dear students, we are going to move on to next concept, extracting metals high up in the reactivity series. What is that? Extracting the metals high up. Here middle, extracting the metals higher in the reactivity series. Okay. So please concentrate. Extracting the metals top in the reactivity series. Okay, my dear students. Yes, extracting metals top in the activity series or reactivity series. Now tell me, what are the topmost high reactive metals? You know, potassium, sodium, calcium, magnesium, aluminium. These metals are high reactive and placed or located top of the activity series. Okay, and these metals are available in the nature in the form of two categories. In the form of their chlorides, corresponding chlorides, or oxides. In the form of their corresponding chlorides or oxides. But in this case, you try to just remember one thing. We are not using carbon as the reducing agent. Carbon cannot reduce the oxides of metals like potassium, sodium, calcium, magnesium, aluminium. Why? Why we are not using carbon? Because all these metals are high affinity towards oxygen than carbon. What do you understand by the word affinity? Attraction. Yes. So all these metals are able to form oxides. A great interaction is there with oxygen. So carbon is unable to reduce these metal oxides. So then what shall we do? These metal oxides or metal chlorides directly converted to metals by one process. What is the name of that process? That process is called electrolytic reduction. What is the name of that process, my dear? Electrolytic reduction. Electrolytic, by using two electrodes, by passing electricity, we can convert these corresponding chlorides and oxides of high reactive metals into corresponding metals. So try to remember this word, electrolytic reduction. Okay. Now let me take one example to illustrate this explanation. Okay. Let us take sodium. Sodium is available in the nature in the form of sodium chloride, also called common salt, rock salt. Even this sodium chloride is available in the underground deposit as a rock salt. What is the main ore of sodium? Rock salt. What is the formula? NaCl. This is chloride ore of sodium. Chloride, halide. Chloride ore of sodium. Now, let us take sodium chloride, NaCl, molten. Do you know, my dear students, what is meant by molten? If you heat this sodium chloride, it will convert it from solid to liquid state. That is called molten sodium chloride. Now, what is your turn? Pass electricity. By passing electricity. Then sodium chloride molten divided into two types of ions. What are they? Na plus cation, Cl minus anion. Okay, now students, NaCl divided into or split up into Na plus cation, Cl minus anion, and Na plus is migrated towards Na plus being cation. No? This is cation, this is anion. Okay, and Na plus being positive, it is migrated towards anode. Migrated towards anode. Being negative, Cl minus migrated towards Na plus being positive migrated towards cathode. Okay, na? And Cl minus being negative migrated towards anode. So let me explain that electrode reaction now. First, let me take cathode reaction. At cathode, what will happen? Cathode means what? Negatively charged electrode. At cathode, Na plus migrated no already. So this Na plus already lost one electron. Now gaining one electron to form Na metal, sodium metal. So sodium metal is obtained at cathode. Okay, now my dear students. And now coming to anode reaction. Anode means positive. Being negative, chlorine gas or chlorine minus attracted towards anode. And how many chlorines here? 2Cl minus. 2 chlorine ions attracted towards anode. But both the chlorine ions lose 2 electrons to become chlorine gas. They lost 2 electrons to become which gas, my dear? Chlorine gas. So chlorine gas is liberated at anode and sodium metal is obtained at cathode. So these are the 2 electrodes, and this is about electrode reaction of high reactive metal, that is sodium chloride. So in this way sodium metal is obtained. It is high reactive. In a similar way, aluminium metal is extracted from aluminium oxide. What is that? Al2O3 with the help of which process? Electrolytic reduction. Electrolytic reduction. So aluminium metal is obtained from aluminium oxide by electrolytic reduction. Now in this case, tell me, at anode, which gas is liberated? Very simple. Oxygen gas is liberated at anode, and aluminium metal is obtained at cathode. Why like this? Because aluminium is positive cation. So cations are migrated towards cathode, and oxygen being negative migrated towards anode. In this way, oxygen gas is liberated at anode and aluminium metal is obtained at cathode. So this is about extracting high reactivity metals in the activity series. So especially sodium, potassium, calcium, magnesium, aluminium, all these metals are extracted from their corresponding chlorides and oxides by using electrolytic reduction method. Here in this case we are not using carbon as a reducing agent. Why we are not adding carbon? Because these metals are high affinity towards oxygen. Okay, and during this extraction of the metals, metal is always obtained at cathode, and corresponding gases are liberated at anode. So that's all for today's class, my dear students, and tomorrow we shall discuss about the last step in GPIM. In general principles involved in metallurgy, last step is there, which is meant for refining. Yes or no? So far we discussed about 2 steps out of 3. What are they? Dressing or concentration or enrichment of the ore, and extraction of the metal. Okay, and even in our textbook one flow chart is there for these kind of metals, metals of low reactivity, metals of moderate reactivity, metals of least reactivity. Try to follow the textbook. Okay na? And so this is the topic. What is that? Electrolytic refining or refining is meant for next module. Till then, my dear students, have a nice day. Thank you.